Okay, let's dive right in. At the very, very end of the Bible, in the book of Revelation, Jesus makes one of the most powerful and final statements about who he is. It's a declaration that it echoes through all of eternity. And today, we're going to unpack what it really means.
Here it is, Revelation 22, verse 13. Now, what's so wild about this verse is that it's not just a collection of cool-sounding titles. Nope, it's a declaration of ultimate victory, one that has the power to completely redefine our whole sense of purpose. So how do we get to the heart of this thing? To really feel its full weight, we've got to go back to the original language and see how these incredible titles actually build on each other.
So Jesus claims 3 powerful pairs of titles here, and each one is like a different facet of a diamond, revealing his absolute sovereignty over, well, everything. Let's break them down one by one.
The first pair is, of course, the most famous, Alpha and Omega. As the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, they're a symbol of total completeness. It tells us that Jesus encompasses all of time, from its very first tick to its final moment. And this isn't a new idea, by the way. It echoes what God says way back in Isaiah 44, "I am the first and I am the last. Apart from me, there is no God." Okay, now for the next pair, Arche and Telos, translated as the beginning and the end. But this goes even deeper. You see, Arche means the origin, the source point, and Telos, that's the goal, the completion. So the point here is that all of creation doesn't just start in him, its ultimate purpose and final destination is also him. Kind of mind-blowing, right? And that brings us to the final pair, Protos and Eshkatos, the first and the last. This one is all about his supreme authority, his preeminence. It means nothing existed before him and nothing will exist after him. He is the ultimate, unchanging, and eternal authority over everything, period. So we have this picture of just total, all-encompassing authority. But, and this is a big but, that raises a really crucial question. This declaration is made at the end of the story. So what specific event gave Jesus the authority to make such an absolute claim? You see, the timing is everything. And that, my friends, brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. The cross wasn't a moment of defeat. Far from it. It was the moment of absolute world-changing victory. So this is so crucial to get. Jesus makes this Alpha and Omega declaration after his death and resurrection. He could only claim to be the beginning and the end once he had conquered sin and death, proving his authority over them once and for all. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here's the proof. The book of Revelation itself shouts this triumphant victory cry. Through the cross, all earthly authority and all kingdoms were brought under his lordship. The transaction was complete. Yeah, framing the cross as this act of cosmic conquest is absolutely key. The Apostle Paul talks about this in Colossians. He says that on the cross, Jesus literally disarmed the principalities and powers. He didn't just redeem individuals. He took authority over the entire fallen system. He won. Okay, so if the victory is already won, what does that mean for us, right here, right now? Well, this understanding challenges a super common way of looking at Revelation. You know, the idea that it's all about just escaping a doomed world. Let's just put these 2 views side by side. On one hand, you've got the escape view, which basically says our role is to wait to be rescued from the world. But then you have the harvest view, and this view, based on Christ's finished victory, says our job is to fight the good fight, to reign with him, and to witness to his authority right here, right now. So what's the evidence for this mission-focused view? Well, let's start with Jesus' own words. In his prayer for his disciples, he specifically asks the Father not to take them out of the world, but to protect them in it. That implies we have a clear purpose here, doesn't it? And man, the Apostle Paul felt this tension deeply. He personally desired to depart and be with Christ, which he called far better. Yet he concluded that staying on earth to continue his fruitful labor was more necessary for the sake of others. And just look at Jesus' own command. He didn't say, "The end is near, so prepare to escape." He looked out at the crowds and said, "The harvest is ready, but we need more workers." His call was to engage, to go into the harvest. Even right before he ascended, when his disciples were asking about restoring the kingdom to Israel, thinking of an earthly takeover, Jesus refocused them. He said the point wasn't the timing of an earthly kingdom, but their mission to be witnesses to the ends of the earth. So when you put it all together, the picture becomes crystal clear.
We aren't just waiting for a flight out. We are ambassadors stationed in a foreign land. We're here on a divine assignment, called to be a light that represents the victorious kingdom of our Alpha and Omega.
So, to recap the big points of this explainer, Alpha and Omega is a declaration of Christ's total and eternal authority. That authority was legally secured at the cross, where the victory over all other kingdoms was won. And because of that victory, our calling isn't to escape the world, but to represent his kingdom within it.
And that leaves us with a final thought. This isn't just some abstract theology, it's a paradigm shift. If you truly believe the ultimate victory has already been secured by the Alpha and the Omega, how does that change the way you see your purpose and your mission right here today?